Welcome, welcome. It's Chatting with Alea, comedian. Y'all love my voice. Ooh, y'all like my shirt. Hey, I'm bright. So welcome to Chatting with Alea, comedian. And today we are going to really sum up what we are doing on this podcast because I kind of been like everywhere. And like I said, if you did not hear prior to these podcasts, I dropped it because I needed to get going. So, if you are new to this podcast, guess what? Me too. I'm going to say that until we are like further in, till we're both not new. I appreciate everybody that has been rocking with me and that has been subscribing and following the podcast and, chiming in and giving feedback. I appreciate y'all. I think I now have it set in stone. So we're going to talk about that. And then I have a few topics that we're going to talk about as well. So first, let's jump on into what we just experienced with the Chatting with the Leah comedian. So far, you guys got the intro as far as what we're going to do with the podcast, what the goals are for the podcast. Now we have the interview with Kenny Robb, okay? And then we had a podcast with me just explaining on mental health and where I came from, the background of me, right? And then we did the round table with me and my girl. Shout out to Maribel, Madi, aka Madi, and Taina for doing the round table, which that was our first experience. I think the round table was amazing. We now know that we're going to do it somewhere where it's quiet so that you guys are able to hear it and not like have any issues. So those are the podcasts that those are the episodes that have been dropped so far, and so far the numbers look great. So again, shout out to y'all for supporting and just sharing and listening and following. um Currently, right now, how I feel like I want this to go is in the beginning of each month, we're going to drop an episode every Sunday. So every Sunday, there's going to be a new episode. At first, I was saying we were going to do the round table on every Friday, but we're not going to do that, or every last Friday. I'm going to pre-record the round table, and that will be dropped on a Sunday as well. So 4 episodes a month will be dropped, and the first episode would be me with a topic, a discussion. We may have a special guest. It most likely will be some engagement, which is what I have on here today. We're going to talk about men. And then the second episode would be like an interview of someone, which I did say that we were going to have Edward Daniels here for the interview, but he's getting some business done. So by the time he gets all that stuff up and running, he'll be able to come onto the podcast and, share what he got going on. So you guys can look into that too. So we'll wait for that. But then the next episode will be me, and then we will do the round table. So I don't want it to be like me back to back, but right now it is going to be me back to back this episode, and it's going to be me starting the next month's episode. So just bear with me. We're getting it in process. I can promise y'all this is going to be the dopest podcast you ever listen to. The realest podcast. Like, it's so crazy. I was in Ohio. I had a show. Shout out to Laugh Blast. Me and Eddie was out there. We had a show. We had a good time. And it's crazy because I ended up driving to Pittsburgh so I could see if I can get some hours because, honey, this is where the money is real quick. So I was like, oh, let me go here real quick. And I was like, let me get this podcast out because I did not do it because I'm always busy and trying to get my money up. So I was like, let me get my shit together and come on to this podcast. But I thought to myself, I said, oh my God, I was in Ohio and I was talking to this girl. She was at the hotel. Sorry, I'm like, I got to get my words together. But last night she was at the hotel, she worked there, and we were like busting it up, and I was like, oh my God, this would be so perfect to like just put you on a podcast. First of all, she's from Ohio, I'm in a different location, which is what I'm gonna bring to you guys. But I was so exhausted, y'all, from driving that far and doing the show and like being up all night. I couldn't have no more conversation. We laughed and everything, and I should have at least just kept the camera on. Like, y'all could have just got it the way it was. But I didn't. And we talked about boxers or briefs, ladies, for the men. Like when you see your man or whoever you're doing, do you want to see boxers or briefs? And I hollered when this girl said she seen this guy, he had boxers on and you couldn't see nothing. She was like, she wants to see it all. And honestly, I never really partaked on guys' underwear. Like I'm not like, oh, what kind of underwear you got going on? But I know men like to see us in sexy underwear. And I mean, I'm not into all that kinky stuff, but some men probably do wear sexy underwear, not on no Diddy type stuff, but all right, I'm gonna just let it go anyway. Um, so I was just like, yeah, tighty whities. I mean, not tighty whities. The tight briefs would be good for me, but like, I would be upset if I was like dealing with a guy and he had some tighty whities on. Like, what are we? Like what, like I don't know. So I want to know, give me some feedback on that. Like how do y'all feel about that? Tidy whities, boxers, or briefs? Like what's your preference? So I thought that was a good topic to bring up. And yeah, we had a good time last night and I should have recorded it. And that could have been like walk and talk with Alea or something, whatever. We'd figured it out, but we didn't. So I do have a topic today that I do want to bring up, and I'm interested to get feedback on this too because we did this on Facebook, and I had like over 30 comments on here, which is not that many, but it's dope enough. Appreciate everybody that comment and was engaging, and I'm not in a relationship, so I just want to throw that out there. I am very single and I choose to be single. I can't, and we're going to get into that. Right now, I'm trying to work on myself. I can't deal with everybody else right now and their stuff. It's just too much going on. So I prefer to be single, and that's what we're going to rock out with. Now, I didn't say I didn't have a friend. And I don't have one of those right now either. But, I got like, how you be having like the people you talk to and stuff. Yeah. Anyway, I had posted on Facebook. I was like, men, what makes you want to fully commit to a lady? Commitment. Commitment. What, first of all, what is commitment? Let's be real. Like, what is commitment? To me, commitment is me all for you. Like, baby, this is it. Hey, it's right here. Commitment is I'm yours. You don't got to worry about it. I got you. That's what commitment to me is. Now I might not be explaining it a lot better, but somebody else can, chime in and explain it. Eventually, we'll do like those little YouTube split up videos. Anyway, so yeah, like what makes men fully commit to women? And I got so many different responses. I was like, oh yeah, we got to throw this on the podcast because, like, what? Um, I feel like I honestly feel like no matter what you do for a man, some of them just have commitment issues. Like some of them just can't commit. Like they just can't help it. Like you ever meet someone who just can't help to like they just can't help it. It's just something that they're used to doing and it's just in them. That's just what they're going to do. And I feel like certain men, excuse me, are like that. I feel like you will never some ladies have to settle and just be like, you know what, this is how he is. And some men have to settle and be like, you know what, this is just how she is. Is that fair to us? Absolutely not. But then that goes into self-love, which when we officially start the podcast, we're gonna dig deep from the beginning to the end. But does that make it fair for them to do what they want to do as far as like dating other people or seeing other people, or you guys living with each other and they're telling everybody that y'all are not together but y'all are doing stuff that y'all do together, if that makes sense. And it's just all these things that is wrong, but you stick to it because one, you're insecure. Two, that's what you're used to, that's what you know. And three, you feel like you can't do better, which is rolls back to insecure. And clearly you don't love yourself enough to give you what you deserve. So I say that because I don't think men could fully commit. I just don't. I just don't. I think at some point in their mind or whatever in their relationships, they fuck up. And everybody does. But like, I just don't think everybody fully commits. Like, even when you're married. That's my opinion. That is my opinion. And I'm gonna read to you guys what we got from Facebook. But I just feel like certain men can't commit, and I feel like women, and even the opposite, they stick to what they want to stick to because they think that's what's best for them, and that's not fair. Um, but let's jump into the comments. And if you disagree with what I said, that's fine. It's my opinion, and you probably have your own, and you're more than welcome to share it. But that's my opinion. I just don't think men could fully commit, and we're gonna respond on these comments. So, men, what makes y'all want to fully commit to a lady? Okay. So we got Dick Nup. He came on there. He said possession of compromising photos or videos, which I thought was very funny because he's a comedian and he was just saying, like, I'll commit to a girl if she has possession of certain photos and videos, which that's funny. So, I mean, he was just throwing a joke in there, and we need that humor from time to time. Um, this guy, KCM Cuts, respond when she respects and understand your mind. Um, and I replied back and I was like, respecting the mind is truly accepting who you are. And let's just repeat that for a second. Okay, men, what makes y'all want to fully commit to a lady? A guy said when she respects and understands your mind. Okay? When she respects and understands your mind. Respecting the mind, especially your mind, is truly accepting you the way you are. And I say that many times because if you're asking someone to accept how your mind is, baby, your mind could be fucked up, and the way you have of thinking can be fucked up, and you want somebody to put up with that shit. That means you're not willing to make a change for nobody. That's how I took it. Now, I could be wrong, and if I am, reply and let me know. Like, let chime in, as far as what you guys think. And you could do that by DMing me, commenting on the videos or the actual podcast and the episode. But send feedback and let me know. But I feel like if you're asking someone to understand your mind, that means no exceptions. Like, okay, I know he thinks like this. I know he doesn't look at it this way, but I gotta respect that. But I could be taking it out of proportion. I could be really, hey, it's not that deep. But that's what I got from that. So that's how I responded. I just said respecting the mind is truly accepting the way you are, which is at no exceptions at that point. So neither here or there. That was the comment. I just said what I thought was right. I mean, what I thought my opinion was of his thing. Anyway, Dom Driscoll put 3 things that makes a man want to commit to a woman is loyalty, ability to compromise, which it goes both ways, and a big pair of titties. He's a comedian, so he's gonna throw the tatas in there. Um, because what if the girl you really like got small boobs, but you really like her? All right, don't let them boobs get you in trouble. All right, so those 3 things. First of all, loyalty. What really is loyalty? Like, let's really talk about loyalty. Like, I want to talk about that on a live where I got people chiming in because loyalty can go both ways. It can't. Let me say it can't. It can go both ways. Loyalty to me, look, okay. A lot of people expect loyalty but don't give it. Is what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. People stand so hard on you not loyal, you not loyal. Nigga, no the fuck, and you the fuck ain't either. So what are we talking about here? Like, loyal is legit. Let's see what loyal is. Loyal. Let's Google what loyal is. I mean, loyalty. You standing by me through whatever. That's not fair either. Like, and why is it certain things are not fair? I mean, like, okay, what am I trying to say? Why is it loyal? You want me to be loyal to you even when you're doing something that you know you shouldn't be doing, or that is hurting me, and I'm supposed to still be loyal because I told you I was going to be loyal from the jump. Those situations are not the situations you need to be loyal to. That's how I wanted to say it. That came out perfectly. So when you got somebody that is doing the same for you and you doing the same for them, that's when you bring in that loyalty. But if somebody ain't doing what they supposed to do and they expect you to do what they're not doing, that's not loyalty. That's not something you want to be loyal to. That's the best way I can explain it. I'm trying to get this Wi-Fi going so I can go ahead and Google some things if I need to. Bam! And y'all, shout out to my lashes because they is the little strip things anyway. I'm feeling real cute. I got my little clip-ins in. I did have my nails on, but I took them off because I'm getting ready to go to work, and I just, like I said, wanted to get this done. But that's what Dom Driscoll said. And one of the things that he said I thought was very, very important was the ability to compromise. And I think that's so true. Like, I don't think that's what's going to make, I mean, maybe that's going to make for him, if someone is able to compromise, that makes him want to commit. I could understand that because in any relationship, you're going to have to compromise. Excuse me. And a lot of people don't like compromising. A lot of people is I said what I said. I want to do it my way or no way. And it's like life doesn't work like it doesn't work like that. So you can't really compromise with somebody that sees something one-sided, which is so crazy that we brought this up right now because I'm literally going through a situation with somebody that is only seeing a situation one-sided, and because of them only seeing it one-sided, I decided to wash my hands with it because we can't compromise. It's always you. So I'm like, okay, cool, let's back up, let me back down, let me back up. And that's what I did. I feel like compromising takes a lot within yourself too. I don't know, like, like if I'm gonna compromise and I, like, let's say I'm the right person, you're the right person, we're both right, but we both come up with something and we both disagree with it. Somebody has to compromise, and if we don't compromise, what do? Walk away, or you just put energy into doing the same thing? And I don't know. That's a good question. So we need to chime in with that and see, like, what exactly is compromising. Compromising is letting go of your pride and making something work for the better. You're only compromising for a little bit. You're never compromising for life. Understand that. So when you compromise, it's only temporarily. It's not forever. Always remember that. Compromise, temporary, not forever. You do it temporary so that forever could be something different, if that makes sense. And if that's not working, then that's when you go the other way. That's it. Um, so I thought that was very important that he said. And the big old titties, like I said, that I'm not a fan of that, but that's what he said. And I comment back and I was like, I love the compromising. I think that's a big part of wanting to commit, honestly, to, and what you can't deal with. Oh, I just was like, oh, what you can't deal with, the little titties, like, little titties matter, little titties matter. Anyway, um, so Cornelius, he posted and he said, a woman that has value to me makes life easier, not harder, emotionally responsible, displays self accountability, etc. Y'all, I want to go smoke a cigarette. So, I need to start taking sinus medicine when I get here, but like when I start doing this, because I be talking and everything be just dripping, and I don't want to just blow my nose. But a woman that has value to me Makes life easier, not harder, emotionally responsible, displays self accountability. That emotionally responsible, that hit hard. Okay, I'm actually have to like blow my nose because it's running. But oh, see, I'm making noise. I wasn't trying to make that much noise, but y'all know it just stuff be going down on here. I could end up eating. I'm not gonna go. Ooh, I do want to go. I do want to do that, but I'm just gonna. All right, I'm done. Don't worry about it, y'all. I be having to do this. Like, this is not. I'm not editing the video to be like, okay, we got to redo it again. I'm not doing that. So I'm sorry to the people that may feel offended, and hopefully, you guys, you don't feel offended. You just be like, you know what, that girl is real, and let's jump back into it. That emotionally responsible, that was like, yo, that's the bar right there. A lot of us are not I know, I can tell you right now, I'm not claiming that I'm emotionally responsible. I am going to let my emotions run all over the place, and it probably will become a mess before we get it fixed again, and then I might learn to be emotionally responsible. But that emotionally responsible hit, I just was like, wow, that's very, very true. I don't think a lot of people have that. And again, that falls back to self-love. um and I replied back, and I was like, emotionally responsible is so grown up ish. Like, that is that's just so grown. That's too grown. Because that's very true. Like, you have to understand that your emotions, the way you act and react off of things, is based off of emotion. And if you can't control your emotions, it's gonna be a mess. And if you can control them, then you can responsibly hold accountability of what you got going on, which is another thing that he mentioned. Displays self accountability. Now I don't know what's up with the display, because that sounds like you want me to give you an example of what I did fucking wrong. Like, nigga, fuck you. Like, I mean, I'm wrong. I said what I said. I shouldn't have said it. That's that. But you want me to display it? No. But I mean, I think that's very true too. Like, someone that can take accountability. Like, I don't want to commit myself to someone that knows they're wrong and they're still going to be sitting there rocking like they ain't did nothing wrong. Like, nigga, you know you did something wrong. You know what I mean? So I thought that was a very good comment to put, to make him commit. So that these are things that are making different men commit. But like I said, I think you could do any and everything for a man. You could be loyal. You can have the ability to compromise. You could be emotionally responsible. You could display self accountability. And somewhere, some way, a nigga still gonna find a way to do him with the next bitch. And he may not care about that bitch, but he's gonna do him, because I think men just can't help it. That's just it. I just think men can. And men love differently. So like, when they go out to deal with other people, it's nothing to them. And females, we don't do that too often. Now, I do know some dog ass females. I done been around a couple, and I may have had my rounds or two. But at the same time, it's hard for us to even rock that way, because like, we are so emotionally attached to people in a different way. Like, it's a whole bunch of different feelings. Like, I can explain all these feelings that I have for one person, and that same person will explain probably just one thing as far as what they felt for me. So be careful with that. I don't even know where that was going, but you guys get what I'm saying. You know what I'm talking about. I'm probably gonna end up getting a co-host, because my brain be going to the left, to the right. No, don't, just rock with me, bear with me. We're gonna get this together. I think we're doing good though. I think we're doing good. We're 23 minutes in. We still got some more comments to go under, and yeah, that's where we're at. So then I have Mike Boyer. He commented and he said, a fat booty with a 401k. And I just think he's looking for a younger sugar mama, because that was a joke. But Kenny brought something up. Kenny Robb, he brought something up very important. He said, when they bring you peace instead of baggage. And I thought that was real. When they bring you peace instead of baggage. Um, a lot of us will go into relationships unhealed. A lot of us will go into relationships unhealed. A lot of us will go into relationships broken from the last situation because we never fixed the last situation, or we never thought through the last situation, which I think on the last podcast, on the last episode, we spoke about forgiving. And I feel like in any situation you get into, any situation you get into, you put yourself in there. So you have to take accountability for putting yourself in a situation that brought you baggage. You have to take accountability for that, because you know what? You knew and you shouldn't have. Or you know what? I didn't know, but I forgive myself for doing, and go on. But some people don't. They don't take that moment to reflect on what is going on, to forgive themselves, to move on with the next. I can forgive myself. I can't forgive others in certain situations. That's what I'm working on. But in the sense where bringing baggage into another relationship, all you're doing is hurting the next person, because you don't trust the last person you dealt with. Now you think this person moving funny. So now you didn't speak up last time, but you feel the need to speak up this time, but you don't even know if this is the situation. Now you're accusing the situation. And now there's an argument because this person is saying, why are you feeling this way? It's not even like that, but because of what you was used to is why you now have this problem. So for me personally, I thought that was very, very, that goes back to self-love. So when we officially start the podcast, we're going to talk about self-love. I'm not an expert. I'm still learning to love myself and take a moment for myself. Like right now, I feel like I'm in a world of just myself. Like I don't have anybody that I'm like really leaning on or relying on, or it's just me right now. And in this hotel, it's just me. I'm doing this podcast, I'm doing this episode, and then when I leave, I'm going to work. I don't know none of these people when I get to this job. They don't know me, but I'm by myself and I'm learning me. So that's just all I'm saying. Self-love is very important, and if you learn how to love yourself, you will then learn how to leave the baggage, or learn how to forgive yourself for getting yourself into the baggage to bringing it into the next relationship. So I thought that was perfectly said. So he's saying, what makes him want to commit to a lady is when they bring peace to him and not the extra shit. And I'm cool with that. And even extra shit could be, your ex-boyfriend or whatever the situation is that's busting in windows and stuff. Nobody got time for that. Nobody has time for that at all. So, Mr. Worldwide, he put more women should ask these questions. Maybe relationships would work out better. And I agree with him. And I also feel like it's okay, ladies, to ask. Like, when you're dating someone, ask them, like, what makes you want to commit to a lady? And if they tell you what it is, that makes them want to commit. And if you feel like that's you, y'all might got a chance. You might have just saved time. You might have just saved a lot of time. It's okay. Hey, we're dating, we're talking, we're getting to know each other. What makes you want to commit? Get it in, figure it out. Then we have Bry, Ali, whatever, Bryson, that's his name. He put absolutely nothing. And I said, well, shit, can't be mad for being honest, because, like, we're being honest, right? Um, but he actually brought up something that was very interesting. He was like, I've been in a non-monogamous. So first of all, the word is too big for me. That's first of all. And I didn't even know what the word meant. So I had to go to Google and figure it the fuck out. So if y'all don't know what it means, I'm going to read the definition to y'all. But he said, I've been in a non-monogamous for a few years now, and it's just my preference at this stage in my life. I don't relate sex to love, if that makes sense. And I said, You didn't have to come on here with those big words. Now I'm on Google, and I was on Google trying to figure out what it was. And a non-monogamous relationship. I'm trying to zoom this in. Oh, I don't know. Okay, here we go. So a non-monogamous, it is, what is a non-monogamy? Okay. Um, Non-monogamy is an umbrella term for any relationship style that involves more than two people. People of all romantic and sexual orientations can practice non-monogamy. This means that these relationships may or may not include a sexual and or romantic component. So from what I'm understanding is just we got relationships with everybody. Like we could have relationships because I like your hair and I love the way you wear your hair, and that's the relationship that we have. Like that's what that could be about. I don't know. I'm still a little confused. If you know about monogamy relationships, I don't even know how to pronounce the word, okay? But that's it. So I thought that was funny. Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and get ready to end this episode, but we pretty much, this is kind of what it's going to be like. We'll have certain topics that we're going to talk about. If you have a topic that you want us to talk about or want me to post and get comments on and see people's different opinions and views of it, then by all means, DM me, comment on the podcast, on the episodes. I did have one more comment from another guy, and he just said, what he said was really nice and sweet. And I was like, okay, brother. And he said, a good woman, you know what? See, it's these big words. I never was into reading. But I want to say vicious woman. I don't know if that's vicious. A virtuous woman. Y'all know what I'm talking about. It's virtuous woman. Don't judge me. Makes a house a home and respects and appreciates, contributes of her husband, and not just financial and sexual contributions, or you know what I'm trying to say. This is what I'm not going to do is be reading big words to y'all online. um, but raising your children and grandchildren to be successful adults. So he's looking for, a woman that is going to be able to hold the house down just like him. That's pretty much what it is. He wants to make sure that you're going to be on point with raising your kids and grandkids, which I just think that went a little too far. That was Keith Mitchell. But shout out to everybody that reached out and that comment on the post. I did put the next post, which was what is a narcissist, and some people comment. I still don't know what it means, so I got to do a little bit more research on my own before I get into that. But shout out to everybody again for following. If you're new to this podcast, so am I. We're getting through it. I hope that you guys are enjoying this so far. And like I said, we now know how it's going to go. So the next episode is going to be me and some comments, and we may have a special guest. And then we'll have an interview the next episode. And then it would be me again the next episode with a topic or a special guest. And then we'll have the roundtable. So just stay tuned. Make sure y'all follow me on all social medias. This podcast is Chatting with the Leah Comedian. You can get it on Alexa. You can get it on Apple Podcasts. You can get it on Spotify Podcasts. I'm on iHeartRadio. And you can catch this visual on YouTube at Alea Comedian. I was going to say .com, but .com will be coming too soon. Peace, blessings, nothing but happiness. I hope all you guys have a great week. And shout out to the fathers. Happy Father's Day. I'm so sorry. I meant to set that tone earlier in the beginning. But shout out to all the fathers out there. I hope you guys were able to celebrate. Peace, blessings, nothing but happiness. Chatting with the Leah Comedian.